Many of us want to achieve wealth and financial independence. But wishing alone will not help us achieve our goals. If we want to become rich and achieve our dreams, we need to uncover the burning desire within us. For example, Thomas Edison did not give up his goal to invent an electric light source. Even after more than 10,000 failed experiments, he was simply driven by the desire to achieve his dream. After years of hard work, he invented the light bulb. The writer Fanny Hurst also went through a similar experience, as she was rejected more than 36 times before publishing the first version of her short stories in a newspaper. Since then, her career as a successful novelist and playwright has taken off. She proved that her urgent desire outweighed the frustration she felt. As a result of the rejection she faced, she was successful in the end. Therefore, it is necessary for everyone who aims to achieve success to verify his personal attitude towards setting his goals and dreams. How do we feel about our goals and dreams? Does it seem far-fetched to us? Or is our desire strong enough to make it come true one day? Full summary of Think and Get Richer by Napoleon Hill. Every success story starts with people who really know what they want. So before you start chasing any old dream, you should start by defining your personal goal as precisely as possible. For example, if you want to become rich, you have to decide carefully how much money you want to make. In addition, you must clearly understand the time frame in which you want to achieve your goal and what you are willing to invest to achieve it. There is no point in achieving a specific goal if it is linked to an indefinite future, as you will find yourself watching what happens with complete disinterest. It is also important to create a plan in which you detail every step you need to take in order to achieve your goal. Once you complete that plan, get going. Don't waste another minute. This method is very useful if you want to ensure that your desire for success is deeply ingrained in your thoughts and actions. First, write your goal and the detailed plan that will enable you to achieve it. Then read it out loud twice every day. Once in the morning after waking up, and once every night before going to sleep. Follow these recommendations carefully, and it will be easy for you to become rich or achieve any other dream. Having unwavering faith is a great way to ensure that you can and will achieve your goals. You cannot achieve success unless you trust yourself and gain a firm belief in yourself. No one has ever acquired any wealth. No distant continents have ever been discovered. And nothing has ever been invented without faith as its foundation. Mahatma Gandhi is one of the typical examples of the power of faith. Even when the necessary tools of power, such as money or armies, were not available, Gandhi was able to challenge British colonial power and lead his country towards freedom. The only support he had was his firm belief in his ability to greatly influence his country's citizens in order to defend their common goals. Our self-belief greatly affects our self-image and way of life. This can help us move a mountain in the true sense of the word. An unwavering belief in yourself is not necessarily something you are born with or dropped from the sky. Anyone can develop it little by little through spontaneous self-suggestion. Automatic self-suggestion describes a method of influencing yourself by contemplating very specific and purposeful thoughts or opinions. You can use this method to transfer certain commands or positive goals to your subconscious mind, thus increasing your self-belief. Overall, autosuggestion convinces yourself that you can achieve your goals. Your ideas can become reality, and you must walk your path with confidence. The more you rely on autosuggestion, the more this method can help you achieve success. If you make your subconscious admire your desires and goals, all your thoughts and actions will be directed towards achieving them. Knowledge makes it much easier to achieve your goals in life. All you have to do is take into consideration some basic points. First, You have to get rid of the traditional concept of knowledge and education, because knowledge is not limited to obtaining a high school diploma or university degree. Uneducated people can also know a lot. Henry Ford said, even though he did not reach high school, that did not prevent him from establishing an industrial empire and making many millions. If you want to be successful, you don't need to stuff your mind with a lot of information. It is much more important to gain the right experience and knowledge, exploit your strengths, and fully employ your potential. It is very important that you are willing to continue learning throughout your life. Rather, complacency is your worst enemy. You should always be ready to expand your knowledge effectively and clearly. There are different ways that you can achieve this, such as going to university, attending evening courses, or gaining practical experience. It's also helpful to be able to know where you can find the knowledge you need, because you don't need to know everything yourself. Rather, you need to know the right person to ask if you need to know something, most of the time. Surrounding yourself with a network of experts who share their specialized knowledge, rather than learning it yourself, is more practical and yields better results. Every success story starts with an idea. Imagination stands behind every idea. It is, essentially, the creative workshop of our minds that turns our dreams into ideas and our ideas into reality. Imaginative ability takes to different forms: creative imagination and synthetic imagination. By using our creative imagination, we can invent completely new things. Leading composers, visual artists, and writers use this function to create works that differ from anything they have done before. Synthetic imagination works to rearrange old ideas into new combinations. For example, the developers at Sony were using this kind of imagination when they decided to develop the playback device or dictaphone used by journalists and turning it into a portable music player that everyone can use. And this is how the Walkman was invented. Creative and synthetic imagination can interact in a productive way. Let us mention, for example, the story of Asa Candler, who created the global brand Coca-Cola from a headache medicine about 140 years ago. Although Candler was not the one who created the recipe for Coca-Cola, which he bought from a pharmacist for $3,000, he developed ingenious plans and marketing strategies that made the product an unparalleled success. If you want to protect your imagination from stagnation, you must confront it with a set of challenges and encourage it. You can achieve this by motivating it, keeping it active, and training it like a muscle. The more you use your imagination, the greater its ability to create and the greater its strength. Being aware of your strengths and weaknesses, in other words, being self-aware, is one of the building blocks of professional success. Factors such as blurring goals, lack of ambition, postponement of tasks, and lack of determination are common reasons for failure. Self-awareness can help you take constructive action to reduce these weaknesses, or at least to balance them with your strengths. In order to be able to know exactly your strengths and weaknesses, it is recommended to conduct a comprehensive and honest self-analysis. Don't worry, this does not require going to a psychiatrist. It is enough to go through a list of questions that include: did I achieve my goal for this year? Have you always been friendly, kind and helpful? Did you make all decisions quickly and firmly? You must then compare your self-analysis with someone else's assessment of you on an objective basis. When you sit down with someone who knows you well to discuss your strengths and weaknesses openly and honestly, this method can be very effective. Our subconscious receives and stores sensory stimuli, feelings, and thoughts. It preserves everything we have gone through, regardless of whether it was positive or negative. But the subconscious mind not only memorizes information, but also exerts a constant influence on our actions. It can make us positive people and give us strength and adventure. But it can also make us fall into negativity and mislead us into despair and pessimism. Therefore, if we want help from the subconscious mind to achieve our desires and goals, We must ensure that positive emotions play a leading role in our lives. We have to feed our subconscious positive thoughts, and then they will serve as our useful and constructive guide. But if we allow ourselves to be carried away by negative emotions, such as anger, hatred, revenge, or pessimism, the exact opposite will happen. You will make tremendous progress when you do things in your daily life, such as avoiding contact with negative people and not taking into consideration their discouraging comments. Instead, you can exploit this factor to enhance your positive motivations, such as enhancing feelings of enthusiasm and love, which is the only way we'll be able to develop a positive mindset in the long term. A survey of more than 25,000 stories about why people fail to achieve professional success shows that lack of determination is the main reason for their failure, while other research that highlighted success stories of millionaires revealed that they have two common characteristics. They are accustomed to making split-second decisions and sticking to these decisions with all strength and determination. In fact, a certain degree of stubbornness, as long as it does not turn into blind stubbornness, can be beneficial. It was known that Henry Ford, in particular, stuck to his decisions for a long time. For example, many people advised him to replace the famous Model T with a new model, claiming that it was not beautiful, but he kept the car for a long time and was able to continue making huge profits. In addition, expressing opinions is generally a process that does not cost money. Everyone has an opinion, and most people want to express it. In order to avoid the risk of negative influences and exhausting your resilience, it makes sense not to give others many opportunities to express their critical opinions. So frustrated people in particular should keep their plans and intentions to themselves and not trust anyone else except the carefully selected or trustworthy people around them. We are all vulnerable to facing obstacles and difficulties in any project, regardless of its nature. In such cases, most of us are quick to abandon our plans and the project is doomed to death. But a few people stick to their original plans and give their dreams a chance to become reality, despite all the obstacles. Perseverance and endurance are the key. This means, above all, that we constantly work to achieve our goals and do not lose sight of them. But this should not dissuade us from avoiding stubbornness and puritanism at all costs. For example, if there is an urgent need to change the price of something, you must execute the order. If you want to embed persistence and endurance into your habits, here are 4 simple rules of thumb. You must have a concrete goal and develop a burning desire to achieve it. You need a comprehensive and precise plan to support the implementation of your goals. Don't allow yourself to be influenced by negative and demotivating opinions. You need a strong, trusting relationship with a person or group who will provide you with support and assistance. Make these rules your own exercise program to help you build your endurance and perseverance. The broader the goal, the more complex it is to plan. The more complex the planning, the more difficult it is to implement the goal. The more difficult the implementation, the more difficult the implementation, the more the minds behind a project depend on the creative, intellectual, and moral support provided by others. This mutual support works best in the form of what is called brain trust. It is selecting a group of smart people. Brain trust refers to unity among like-minded people who collaborate informally, focus on setting a common goal, develop competencies, and have a system of checks and balances. The most important principle of brain trust is its synergistic effect. If 2 or more people who work well with each other combine their skills, talents, specialized knowledge, experience, relationships, and all other resources and use them to achieve the same common goal, the results will transcend individuality and become an expression of surplus through which you can achieve things that you could not achieve alone. The main message of this book is, wealth, in any form, is rarely the result of luck or chance. Rather, They often result from different qualities and skills that anyone can learn and acquire. This book answers the following questions. How can we find the appropriate goals in life, and how do we translate them into actions? We can only achieve our goals in life. We are driven by a burning desire. Goal setting and detailed planning are the foundation of every achievement. Successful people have an unwavering belief in themselves. Using automatic self-suggestion, our subconscious mind can influence our behavior. Identify the skills and knowledge needed to achieve success. What skills and knowledge are needed to achieve success? Knowledge is power, but knowledge is not what you learned in school. Imagination workshop, where we can turn our dreams into reality. You can double your chances of professional success by knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Positive emotions are the key to a successful life and need constant reinforcement. And with that, we come to the end of our summary of the book Think and Grow Rich by the genius Napoleon Hill. Through its inspiring details and wise teachings, we invite you to consider the power of positive thinking and the strong desire to achieve wealth and success in your life. If you're ready to discover more valuable ideas and advice, we strongly encourage you to join our channel and click the subscribe button. You'll find entertaining content that hints at the keys to wealth and success in all aspects of life. Let's take the journey towards success and wealth together.